Leader of the Third Party.
New question, the member from Newmarket Aurora.
Speaker, my question is to the Premier. The incompetence and mismanagement of this government goes from bad to worse, Speaker, and it's no more evident than in the Ministry of Health. At yesterday's Public Accounts Committee, we heard from Mr. Richard Jackson. He told us that he was hired to head up the minister's new air ambulance oversight program. When asked what experience he had in either air ambulance or land ambulance, he said none. He told us he hired 6 individuals into that department to help him with his oversight responsibilities. When asked how much experience those 6 staff members have in air ambulance or land ambulance, he said none. Can the Premier tell us who was responsible for hiring this group of inexperienced people to oversee the most critical oversight responsibilities in the Ministry of Health?
Thank you. Premier.
Mr. Speaker, so let's just be clear about exactly what the member opposite is talking about. He's talking about the Air Ambulance Oversight Branch. And, Mr. Speaker, there's another branch called the Emergency Health Services Branch. There is plenty of expertise in land and air ambulance operations in that branch, Mr. Speaker, the Emergency Health Services Branch. What the Air Oversight Branch is designed to do, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that transfer payment agencies are transparent, that they're accountable, that we get value for money when spending taxpayers' dollars, Mr. Speaker. I think that that's exactly the kind of expertise that the official opposition would want, Mr. Speaker, given what has transpired at Ornge. So we need to be very careful that when we talk about the expertise that's needed, that we understand that there are different branches and that different expertise is needed depending on the task at hand.
Supplementary.
Speaker, I think what's important is that the Premier familiarize herself with the Ministry of Health. There are not 2 branches. The Emergency Health Services Branch is headed by the same person that heads the department within the Emergency Health Services Branch, which is the Air Ambulance Program. It is the same person who has no experience in either land ambulance or air ambulance. The people who now are responsible for oversight of air ambulance have no experience in either land ambulance or air ambulance. My question back to the Premier is this. When will this Premier recognize and admit that neither the Ministry of Health has competent leadership at either the minister's level, the deputy minister's level, the associate deputy minister's level, or the assistant deputy minister who hired these inexperienced people to have this important, crucial oversight responsibility?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Premier.
Mr. Speaker, well, the member opposite has made my point that within the Ministry of Health there are different expertise that's necessary. And what's important, Mr. Speaker, is that we have the right expertise performing the right function. I would ask the member opposite. He is so concerned about oversight, as are we, that he would work with us to get Bill 11 through committee, Mr. Speaker, to stop stalling that bill, Mr. Speaker. We need that legislation in place. We need that legislation to come back from committee, and the member opposite has a lot of control over whether that happens. I know that his concern is genuine. I know that he wants to make sure that oversight is in place. So my hope is that he will work with his colleagues, we'll get Bill 11 back from committee, and we'll be able to get that legislation in place, because that's where the accountability measures are.